Admiral Park Hyun stood on the bridge of the Soul's Pride, watching the stars through the wide viewing screen. The ship was humanity's finest vessel, but it looked small compared to the alien ships around it. For 50 years, Earth had been part of the Galactic Federation. They followed the rules set by the High Council, 7 ancient alien races that had ruled space for thousands of years. Park Hyun was 63 years old, with gray hair and sharp eyes. He had fought in many battles to protect human colonies, from pirates and raiders. The aliens respected him, but they always treated humans like children who needed guidance. Today felt different. Something was wrong. "Admiral, we have an emergency message from Kepler 442, said Captain Lee Dong-soo, his voice tight with worry. Lee was Park's most trusted officer, a man who had served beside him for 20 years. The message appeared on the main screen. A woman's face showed terror and desperation. Behind her, explosions lit up the sky. "This is Colony Leader Jung from New Busan. We are under attack by the Vorthak Empire. They came without warning. Our defense ships are destroyed. Please help us. We have 50,000 people here, including children. Please." The message cut off in static. Park Hyun felt his hands clench into fists. The Vorthak were savage aliens who killed everything in their path. They took no prisoners and showed no mercy. "Set course for Kepler 442 immediately," Park ordered. "Full speed." "Admiral, wait." The voice belonged to Ambassador Choi Min-ho, Earth's representative to the Council. He had just entered the bridge, his face pale. "I have orders from the High Council. They say Earth forces must not go to Kepler 442. Park Hyun turned to face the ambassador. "What do you mean?" "Our people are dying." Choi Min-ho held up a datapad with the official seal of the Galactic Federation. "The Council says they will handle this situation. They have deployed their own fleets to deal with the Vorthak. Human forces are ordered to remain at current positions." "That's impossible," said Dr. Kim So-ra, the ship's chief science officer. She was a brilliant woman who understood alien technology better than most humans. "The nearest Council fleet is 6 days away from Kepler 442. Our people will be dead by then." "The Council knows what they're doing," Choi said, but his voice lacked confidence. "They have more experience with the Vorthak than we do." Park Hyun studied the ambassador's face. They had known each other for years, and he could see doubt in the man's eyes. "Min-ho, do you really believe the Council cares about our colonists?" Before Choi could answer, another message arrived. This one came from the Council itself. The image showed High Counselor Vextar, a tall alien with blue skin and 4 arms. His species had ruled their part of space for 5,000 years. "Humans of Earth," Vextar said in his cold voice. "The situation at Kepler 442 is being resolved by proper authorities. Your primitive weapons would only complicate our efforts. Stay where you are and trust in Council wisdom." The message ended. Park Hyun felt anger burning in his chest. Primitive weapons? Human ships had saved Council worlds many times. Their courage in battle was well known throughout the galaxy. "Something is wrong here," he said quietly. "Dr. Kim, can you scan for Council ships near Kepler 442? Kim So-ra worked at her station, her fingers moving quickly over the controls. After a few minutes, she looked up with confusion. "Admiral, there are no Council ships heading to Kepler 442. In fact, I'm detecting Council vessels moving away from that area." Ambassador Choi stepped forward. "That can't be right. Let me contact Council headquarters directly." While Choi tried to reach the Council, Park Hyun made a decision. "Captain Lee, take us to the edge of Kepler 442 space. Stay just outside, but be ready to move fast." "Yes, Admiral." Hours passed with no word from the Council. Then suddenly all communication from Kepler 442 stopped. No distress calls. No requests for help. Nothing. Dr. Kim So-ra's face was pale as she checked her readings again and again. "Admiral, I'm not detecting any human life signs in the system anymore. None at all." The bridge fell silent. 50,000 people. Gone. "Ambassador." Choi finally received a response from the Council. His hands shook as he read it. They say the Vorthak problem has been solved. The colony is secure." "Secure?" Park Hyun's voice was deadly quiet. Then why can't we contact anyone there? Choi looked at his message again. The council says there were complications. Some colonists were evacuated to safe locations. They're investigating what happened. Dr. Kim So-ra suddenly gasped. She was looking at her private communication device, not the ship's systems. Admiral, you need to see this. I have a contact in the council's scientific division, someone who owes me a favor. She transferred the message to the main screen. It was a recording of a council meeting, stamped with high security codes. The image showed all 7 council leaders sitting around their great table. High Counselor Vextar was speaking. The humans are becoming too confident, too independent. The colony at Kepler 442 was perfect for our test. Another council member, a creature with tentacles instead of arms, responded. The Vorthak performed exactly as we hoped. 50,000 human deaths should teach Earth proper respect for council authority. Yes, agreed a third alien. Sometimes a species needs to suffer loss before they understand their place in the galaxy. The humans will be more obedient now. Vextar nodded. And if they investigate too deeply, we can always claim the Vorthak attacked before our forces could arrive. Who will question the wisdom of the council? The recording ended. The bridge was completely silent. Park Hyun felt something break inside his chest, like a cord that had been stretched too tight for too long. Ambassador Choi was staring at the screen with horror. They knew. The council knew this would happen. They let our people die on purpose. Captain, Lee Dong-su's voice was filled with rage. 50,000 innocent people, murdered to teach us a lesson. Dr. Kim So-ra wiped tears from her eyes. My sister lived in New Busan. She had 2 children. Park Hyun stood up slowly. For 50 years, humanity had trusted the council. They had followed every rule, obeyed every order, shown respect to beings who saw them as nothing more than useful pets. No more. Send a message to Earth, he said, his voice calm but hard as steel. Tell them everything. Show them this recording. Admiral, what should I tell them you're planning to do? Asked Captain Lee. Park Hyun looked out at the stars again, but now he saw them differently. Each point of light might hide an enemy. The galaxy was not a safe place ruled by wise leaders. It was a dangerous place where the strong crushed the weak, and only power mattered. Tell Earth that the Galactic Federation no longer exists for humanity. We trusted them with our people's lives, and they betrayed that trust. His voice grew stronger. From this day forward, humanity stands alone. And alone, we are strongest. The message was sent. Across human space, the news spread like fire. The council had betrayed them. Earth's children were dead, sacrificed for alien politics. Park Hyun knew that everything would change now. The peaceful days were over. But as he looked at his crew, he saw something in their eyes that the council had not expected. Not fear, not submission, determination. 6 months had passed since the betrayal at Kepler 442. Earth was a different world now. Admiral Park Hyun, now called Supreme Commander, stood in the command center deep beneath the Rocky Mountains. Around him, hundreds of people worked at computer stations, planning humanity's future. The news of the Council's betrayal had spread across all human worlds. Every person knew what had happened. Children, mothers, fathers, grandparents, all dead because the Council wanted to teach humans a lesson. The anger was like nothing in human history, but Park Hyun had turned that anger into something else. Purpose. Commander, the shipyard's report is ready, said General Kang Ji-woo, head of Earth's new Special Operations Division. Kang was a small, quiet man who had once been a spy. Now he ran the most secret military operations in human space. Park Hyun nodded. Show me. The main screen displayed a map of the solar system. Red dots showed the locations of hidden construction sites. Asteroid mining stations had been converted into secret shipyards. Old space stations had been expanded and moved to places where alien sensors could not find them. We now have 47 hidden construction facilities, Kang reported. Each One is building warships. The Council thinks we are still crying about our losses. They have no idea what we are really doing. Dr. Kim So-ra entered the command center. She looked tired but excited. Her team had been working day and night for months, studying every piece of alien technology they could find. Commander, I have news from Project Prometheus. Project Prometheus was humanity's secret weapon program. Dr. Kim had taken apart alien devices, learned how they worked, and then built better human versions. It was dangerous work, but she was the best scientist Earth had. What did you discover? Park asked. Kim So-ra smiled for the first time in months. The aliens are not as smart as they think. Their technology is old. Very old. They have been using the same designs for thousands of years because they never needed to change them. But we humans are different. We always try to make things better. She activated a holographic display showing a new type of engine. This is our quantum fold drive. It uses the same basic principles as alien faster-than-light travel, but we made it work 3 times faster. Our ships can cross the galaxy in days instead of weeks. Park Hyun studied the design. How many ships can we build with these engines? As many as we want, Commander. The materials are not rare, we just needed to understand the science. General Kang spoke up. My agents report that the Council is not worried about us at all. They think humans will never fight back because we are too weak. They see our silence as proof that we learned our lesson. Good, Park said. Let them think that. How many ships do we have now? 3,000 completed warships with more launching every day, replied Engineer Yu Taimin, who had just arrived with the latest construction reports. Yu was young but brilliant, the man who designed humanity's new stealth technology. Each ship is armed with kinetic cannons and plasma weapons. Nothing fancy, but they work very well. Park Hyun had insisted on simple, reliable weapons. The aliens used energy shields and complex defense systems. Human weapons were different. A tungsten rod traveling at enormous speed could not be stopped by fancy alien shields. It would punch through anything. What about our stealth systems? Park asked. Yu Taemin grinned. Perfect, Commander. I tested the new adaptive stealth on the Busan Thunder last week. The ship flew right through a Council patrol area. Their sensors never detected anything. The stealth technology was based on a simple idea. Instead of trying to hide from alien sensors, human ships could copy the sensor signatures of space rocks, old satellites, or even other ships. To alien scanners, a human warship would look like harmless debris. Dr. Kim So-ra pulled up another display. I also have news about alien weaknesses. My team has been studying their military systems. The Council races are very proud, Commander. They always attack the same way because they think their methods are perfect. They never adapt. Explain. Council fleets always form the same battle formations. They always send the same types of ships for different missions. Their commanders follow ancient battle plans that have not changed in centuries. If we study those plans, we can predict exactly what they will do. Park Hyun nodded slowly. This was valuable information. Human military doctrine was different. Humans adapted constantly, changed tactics, tried new ideas. It was one reason they had won so many battles despite having smaller, simpler ships. General Kang activated a secure communication channel. Commander, I have agents placed throughout Council space. They are ready to provide intelligence when we begin operations. The agents were mostly humans who had been living on alien worlds for years, working as traders or researchers. The Council had never seen them as threats. Now they were watching, listening, and reporting everything back to Earth. How many ships can we deploy? Park asked Engineer Yu. 10,000, Commander, all equipped with the new drives and stealth systems. Each ship has enough firepower to destroy a Council heavy cruiser. Park Hyun walked to the large window that showed the construction facility below. Thousands of workers were building humanity's revenge. These people had lost friends and family at Kepler 442. Some had lost children. They worked 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, because they wanted justice. Commander, Dr. Kim said quietly, there is something else. My team has been working on a special project, something that could end this war quickly. Show me. Kim activated another holographic display. This one showed the design for a massive weapon, bigger than anything humans had ever built. We call it a star killer. It can make a sun explode. The room fell silent. Park Hyun stared at the weapon design. How does it work? We fire specially designed missiles into a star's core. The missiles carry devices that disrupt the nuclear reactions. The star becomes unstable and explodes. Any planets in the system are destroyed. My God, whispered General Kang. You could destroy entire civilizations. Yes, Kim said simply. But Commander, I hope we never have to use it. It is for emergencies only. If the Council tries to destroy Earth, we can destroy their homeworlds in return. Park Hyun was quiet for a long time. The weapon was terrible, but the Council had shown they were willing to murder innocent humans. If Earth was threatened with extinction, this weapon might be their only hope. Build 2 of them, he finally said. But they are never to be used, unless I personally give the order, and only if Earth itself is about to be destroyed. Understood, Commander. Admiral Shin Yoon-ji entered the command center. She was Park's second in command, a tough woman who had fought pirates for 20 years. Commander, our deep space scouts report that the Council is having problems. Several member species are asking questions about what happened at Kepler 442. Some of them are demanding answers. Are any of them considering leaving the Federation? 3 species have already reduced their military cooperation with the Council. They are scared, Commander. If the Council could betray humans so easily, what would stop them from betraying others? Park Hyun smiled grimly. The Council's cruelty was becoming their weakness. Other alien races were starting to doubt their leaders. Captain Nam Soo-jin, commander of the stealth destroyer Busan Thunder, appeared on a communication screen. She was reporting from deep space where her ship was testing the new technology. Commander, the stealth systems work perfectly. I took my ship within 1 kilometer of a Council space station. They never knew we were there. We could have destroyed it easily. Excellent. Return to base and prepare your ship for combat operations. Yes, Commander. When do we strike back? Park Hyun looked around the command center. Every person there had lost someone at Kepler 442. They had spent months preparing for this moment. Humanity had built the most powerful fleet in their history. They had weapons the Council could not imagine. They had the element of surprise. Most importantly, they had something the Council did not understand: human determination. When humans were pushed too far, when their families were threatened, they became the most dangerous creatures in the galaxy. Soon, Captain, Park said. Very soon, the Council will learn what happens when you betray humanity. Outside, the stars looked the same as they had for billions of years. But everything was about to change. The Council thought they ruled the galaxy through fear and ancient power. They were about to discover that sometimes the prey becomes the predator. And when that happens, the hunter becomes the hunted. Supreme Commander Park Hyun stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Soul Vengeance. Around him in space, 10,000 human warships waited in perfect formation. Each ship was invisible to alien sensors, hidden by the advanced stealth technology that engineer Yu Taemin had perfected. Today was the day. After 1 year of preparation, humanity would strike back. All fleet commanders report status, Park ordered. Captain Nam Soo-jin's voice came from the stealth destroyer Busan Thunder. Stealth wing ready, Commander. We are completely invisible. To Council sensors. Admiral Shin Yoon-ji reported from the battlecruiser Incheon's Fury. Heavy attack wing ready. All weapons charged and targeting systems locked. Colonel O.J. Sung spoke from the assault carrier Daegu Storm. Marine boarding teams ready, Commander. We will capture their leaders alive as ordered. Dr. Kim So-ra was at her station on the flagship's bridge. She had developed most of the weapons and technology that would win this battle. All systems are working perfectly, Commander. The enemy has no idea we are here. Park Hyun looked at the tactical display. It showed the 7 homeworlds of the Council species, each one defended by massive fleets and orbital weapons platforms. For thousands of years, these worlds had been considered impossible to attack. Today, that would change. Begin Operation Justice, Park commanded. Across human space, the largest fleet in Earth's history began to move. The ships used their quantum-fold drives to jump instantly across the galaxy. Within minutes, human warships appeared around all 7 Council homeworlds at the same time. The first target was Vextar Prime, home of High Counselor Vextar. The aliens who had ordered the massacre at Kepler 442 were about to pay the price. Captain Nam Soo-jin's stealth ships struck first. They appeared like ghosts inside the planet's defensive perimeter, their adaptive stealth making them look like space debris to alien sensors. The Council's mighty defense platforms never saw them coming. Target acquired, Nam reported. Beginning attack run. Her ships opened fire with kinetic cannons. Tungsten rods traveling at incredible speed smashed into the orbital weapons platforms. The aliens' energy shields were useless against solid metal moving at such velocity. Platform after platform exploded in brilliant flashes of light. Orbital defenses destroyed, Nam announced. The path is clear. Admiral Shin Yunji's heavy warships moved in next. Their massive plasma cannons locked onto the Council fleet that was scrambling to respond to the attack. Fire all weapons, Shin ordered. The space around Vextar Prime lit up like a sun. Human plasma cannons unleashed devastation that the Council had never imagined possible. Their ships, designed to fight other aliens using ancient tactics, were helpless against human firepower. A Council battleship tried to return fire, but its energy weapons could not penetrate the advanced armor on human ships. Dr. Kim So-ra's research had paid off. Human defensive systems were far superior to anything the aliens had. Enemy flagship destroyed, reported one of Shin's captains. The entire Council fleet is retreating. But there was nowhere to run. Human ships were faster and more maneuverable than anything in Council space. The quantum-fold drives allowed them to appear anywhere instantly. Colonel O.J. Sung's assault troops launched from their carriers. Thousands of human Marines in advanced combat suits flew toward the Council command stations. Their mission was to capture the Council leaders alive. Boarding teams away, O reported. We will have prisoners within the hour. The same scene was playing out around all 7 Council homeworlds. Humanity had planned this attack perfectly. While the Council leaders sat in their comfortable palaces, human fleets were destroying everything they had built. On the bridge of the Soul Vengeance, Dr. Kim So-ra monitored the battle. Commander, their communication networks are completely disrupted. We control all orbital space around their planets. Park Hyun nodded. What about their ground defenses? Minimal resistance. It seems they never expected anyone to get past their space fleets. The Council had made a fatal mistake. They had become too confident in their power. For thousands of years, no one had dared to attack their homeworlds. They had forgotten that any empire could fall if the right enemy found their weaknesses. Commander, called Captain Lee Dong-soo from his position at the tactical station, we are receiving surrender signals from 4 Council homeworlds. They are asking for mercy. No mercy, Park replied coldly. They showed no mercy to our people at Kepler 442. Admiral Shin Yunji's voice came over the communication system. Commander, the Vorthak Empire is sending fleets to help the Council. They will arrive in 6 hours. Park smiled grimly. The Vorthak were the savage aliens who had actually killed the colonists at Kepler 442. He had been hoping they would come. Excellent. Deploy the ambush wings at the jump points. Let us show these butchers what happens when they murder human children. Captain Bae Won-ho commanded one of humanity's new experimental dreadnoughts, the Incheon's Wrath. His ship was twice the size of a normal human warship, armed with the most powerful weapons Dr. Kim's team could design. Commander, this is Bae Won-ho. My ship is in position at Jump Point Alpha. When the Vorthak arrive, we will be ready. The Vorthak fleet appeared exactly where human intelligence had predicted. 300 savage warships, all painted with the skulls of species they had destroyed. They thought they were coming to help their Council allies crush a human rebellion. Instead, they flew into the most devastating trap in galactic history. Captain Bae's dreadnought opened fire first. Its main cannon could destroy a small moon. The lead Vorthak battleship simply vanished in a ball of superheated plasma. All ships engage the enemy, Bae ordered. The human ambush wings attacked from all directions. Stealth ships appeared inside the Vorthak formation. Heavy cruisers pounded them with kinetic weapons. The Vorthak had never faced an enemy with such advanced technology and tactics. "This is impossible," one Vorthak commander transmitted before his ship exploded. "How can the humans be so strong?" In less than 2 hours, the entire Vorthak relief fleet was destroyed. Not a single human ship was lost. Colonel O.J. Sung's Marines had successfully captured the Council command stations. His voice came over the communication system with good news. "Commander, we have prisoners. High Counselor Vextar and 5 other Council leaders are in custody. They are asking to negotiate. Bring them to me," Park ordered. "I want to look these murderers in the eyes." The battle was over. In 6 hours, humanity had destroyed the military power of civilizations that had ruled for thousands of years. The Council's great fleets were burning wreckage. Their orbital defenses were dust. Their leaders were prisoners. Dr. Kim So-ra was studying the sensor readings from all 7 battlefields. "Commander, this is remarkable. We have achieved total victory with minimal losses. Only 12 human ships were damaged and no crews were killed." Park Hyun was not surprised. Human weapons and tactics were simply superior. The Council had grown lazy and arrogant over the centuries. They had forgotten how to fight a real war against a determined enemy. "Sir," called Captain Lee, "we are receiving communication requests from hundreds of alien species throughout the galaxy. They all want to know what is happening." "Tell them the truth," Park replied. "The Council betrayed humanity and murdered our people. Today we showed them the price of that betrayal." Captain Nam Soo-jin's stealth ships were patrolling the wreckage of the Council fleets. "Commander, we are detecting escape pods and survivors. What are your orders?" Park Hyun thought for a moment. The Council leaders had shown no mercy to human civilians. It would be easy to leave their people to die in space. But that was not the human way. "Rescue all survivors," he ordered. "Take them prisoner, but treat them well. We are not like the Council. We do not murder innocents." Admiral Shin Yoon-ji appeared on the communication screen. She was standing on the bridge of her flagship, surrounded by the lights of burning enemy ships. "Commander, the galaxy is watching us. Every species knows that humanity has defeated the Council in a single day. They are all asking the same question." "What question?" "What do we do now? The Council has ruled the galaxy for thousands of years. With them gone, who will maintain order?" Park Hyun looked out at the stars. A few hours ago, humanity had been a minor species that followed the Council's orders. Now they were the most powerful military force in known space. The responsibility was enormous. "We will discuss that after we deal with our prisoners," he said. "For now, make sure the galaxy knows one thing. Humanity keeps its promises. We promised justice for Kepler 442. Today we delivered that justice." The first phase of humanity's revenge was complete. But Park Hyun knew this was just the beginning. The Council's allies would not accept defeat easily. Other species would try to fill the power vacuum. Some would see humanity as liberators. Others would see them as conquerors. The real war was about to begin. 3 months had passed since humanity's first strike against the Council. Supreme Admiral Park Hyun now commanded the largest military force in galactic history. Earth had mobilized completely. Every human world was building warships, training soldiers, and producing weapons. The galaxy had changed. News of the Council's defeat spread to every corner of known space. Some alien species celebrated the fall of their ancient oppressors. Others feared what humanity might do with their new power. Many chose to fight. Park stood in the war room aboard his new command ship, the Earth's Hammer. Around him, holographic displays showed the current state of the galaxy. Red zones marked areas controlled by the Grand Alliance, a collection of over 200 species that had united to destroy humanity before humans could destroy them. "Admiral Intelligence Report," said General Kang Ji-woo. His spy networks now covered half the galaxy. "The Grand Alliance is gathering their combined fleets at the Proxima Nexus. They plan to attack Earth directly." Dr. Lim Hyo-jung, the brilliant scientist who had joined Dr. Kim So-ra's research team, stepped forward. She looked exhausted but excited. "Admiral, Project Helios is complete. We now have the ability to destroy stars. The star-killer weapons were humanity's ultimate threat. Dr. Lim had perfected the technology that could make a sun explode, wiping out entire solar systems. It was a terrible weapon, but it might be the only thing that could stop the Grand Alliance. "How many do we have?" Park asked. 5 star killers are ready for deployment. Each one can destroy a system with up to 8 planets. Admiral Shin Yun-ji entered the war room with urgent news. "Admiral, the Second Fleet has completed operations in the Outer Rim. 37 alien worlds have surrendered. But we have a problem." She activated a tactical display showing the edge of human space. "The Zephyrian Empire has joined the Grand Alliance. They are bringing 4,000 warships." Park nodded grimly. The war was escalating faster than anyone had expected. When humanity destroyed the Council, it had created a power vacuum. Instead of accepting human leadership, most alien species had chosen to fight for control of the galaxy. "What is our current fleet strength?" Park asked. Captain Bei Wan-ho, now commanding a squadron of experimental dreadnoughts, provided the answer. 50,000 warships, Admiral, all equipped with quantum-fold drives and advanced weapon systems. Earth's shipyards are producing 200 new vessels every day. The numbers were incredible. In 18 months, humanity had built the most powerful navy in galactic history. Every human was contributing to the war effort. Children too young to fight were working in factories. Elderly people who had retired were designing new weapons. The entire species was united in a way that had never happened before. "Admiral," called Captain Nam Soo-jin from her stealth destroyer. She was leading deep space reconnaissance missions. "I have disturbing news from the core worlds. The Grand Alliance is using slave labor to build their fleets. They are forcing conquered species to work in their shipyards." Park felt anger burning in his chest. This was exactly the kind of oppression that the Council had allowed. The strong crushing the weak, with no one to stop them. "We cannot allow this to continue," he said. "Prepare Operation Liberation. We will free those enslaved worlds." Dr. Kim, Sora appeared on a communication screen from her research facility on Earth. Behind her, scientists worked frantically on new projects. "Admiral, I have good news. We have developed adaptive battle algorithms. Our ship computers can now predict enemy tactics in real time and adjust our strategies instantly." This was another human advantage. While alien species followed ancient battle plans, human technology allowed constant adaptation during combat. Enemy commanders would find their tactics countered before they could even give orders. "There is more," Kim continued. "We have also developed improved shields that can absorb energy weapon fire and convert it into power for our own weapons. The more they shoot at us, the stronger we become." Colonel O.J. Sung's voice came from his assault ship. "Admiral, my Marines are ready for large-scale planetary operations. We have 50,000 troops in powered armor, trained for urban combat and prisoner capture." The human military had evolved rapidly during the war. Earth soldiers were now equipped with technology that made them nearly unstoppable. Their armor could resist most alien weapons. Their own weapons could punch through any known defense. "Admiral, urgent message from the front lines," announced Captain Lee Dong-soo. "The Grand Alliance fleet has begun moving toward Earth. They have over 1 million ships." Park studied the tactical display. The enemy fleet was enormous, but he was not worried. Human ships were individually superior to anything the aliens had. More importantly, human commanders were better trained and more creative than their opponents. "Deploy the deep strike wings," he ordered. "Hit their supply lines first. Then we will deal with their main fleet." Admiral Shin Yun-ji's ships jumped into hyperspace, heading for enemy territory. Her mission was to destroy the logistics networks that kept the Grand Alliance fleet supplied with fuel and ammunition. Without supplies, even the largest fleet was helpless. The Battle of Proxima Nexus would determine the future of the galaxy. If humanity won, they would become the dominant power in known space. If they lost, Earth itself might be destroyed. Captain Bei Wan-ho's experimental dreadnought Incheon's Wrath led the human battle line. His ship was armed with the most powerful weapons humanity had ever built. The main cannon could destroy an entire enemy squadron with a single shot. All ships. Battle Formation Alpha, Park commanded. Remember, we are not just fighting for victory. We are fighting for the right of all species to live free from oppression. The human fleet numbered 50,000 ships, but they faced over 1 million enemy vessels. On paper, it looked impossible. But Park had learned something important during his years of command. Numbers did not always determine the winner of a battle. Technology, training, and determination mattered more. "Admiral, the enemy fleet is in range," reported Captain Lee. "All ships, engage." The space around Proxima Nexus exploded into the largest battle in galactic history. Human kinetic weapons tore through enemy formations like swords through paper. Alien energy shields, designed to stop other alien weapons, were useless against solid metal traveling at impossible speeds. Captain Bay's dreadnought proved why humans were superior engineers. Its main cannon fired a stream of plasma that was hotter than the core of a star. Enemy battleships simply evaporated when the beam touched them. "This is incredible," Bay reported. "Their shields cannot even slow our weapons down." Captain Nam, Sujin's stealth ships appeared inside enemy formations, causing confusion and panic. Alien commanders had never faced enemies who could become completely invisible and strike without warning. "The enemy is breaking formation," Nam announced. "They are trying to retreat." But there was no escape. Human ships with quantum fold drives could appear anywhere instantly. Every time an enemy fleet tried to run, human forces would already be waiting for them. Dr. Lim Hyo-jung monitored the battle from Earth's command center. She was ready to deploy the Star-Killer weapons if the battle went badly. But it was becoming clear that humanity did not need such extreme measures. "Admiral, enemy losses are catastrophic," she reported. "They have lost over 300,000 ships in the first hour of battle." The Grand Alliance had made the same mistake as the Council. They had underestimated human technology and tactics. They thought overwhelming numbers would guarantee victory. They were learning that quality was more important than quantity. Admiral Shin Yun-ji's deep space fleets were wreaking havoc behind enemy lines. Her ships destroyed supply convoys, captured enemy bases, and liberated enslaved worlds. The Grand Alliance war machine was collapsing. "Admiral, we are receiving surrender signals from over 100 enemy species," Shin reported. "They want to negotiate." "No negotiations during battle," Park replied. "They can surrender completely or continue fighting. Those are the only choices." Colonel Oh Jae-sung's Marines were boarding enemy command ships throughout the battlefield. Their mission was to capture alien leaders and gather intelligence about other enemy fleets. "Admiral, we have captured Grand Alliance Fleet Commander Zorthak," Oh announced. "He is asking for mercy." Park thought about the human colonists who had been murdered at Kepler 442. The aliens had shown no mercy then. But humanity was different. They were fighting to create a better galaxy, not to destroy it. "Take him prisoner, but treat him well. We are not butchers." The Battle of Proxima Nexus ended after 12 hours of fighting. The Grand Alliance fleet was completely destroyed. Over 1 million alien ships had been reduced to floating wreckage. Human losses were minimal, fewer than 1,000 ships damaged, with very few crew casualties. Captain Bae Wan-ho's voice came over the communication system. "Admiral, the battlefield is secure. Enemy resistance has ended." Park looked at the tactical display one more time. Red enemy markers had been replaced by blue human ones. The largest alien fleet in history had been defeated in a single day. "Send a message to all remaining Grand Alliance worlds," he ordered. "Tell them they have 24 hours to surrender unconditionally. After that, we will come for them." Dr. Kim So-ra appeared on the communication screen, smiling for the first time in months. 2 years had passed since the Battle of Proxima Nexus. The war was finally over. Emperor Park Hyun stood on the observation deck of the Terran Unity, humanity's new diplomatic vessel. Below him, the planet New Geneva hosted the first meeting of the Terran Commonwealth Assembly. Park had never wanted to be called emperor, but the title had been necessary. The galaxy needed to understand that humanity was now the dominant power. More importantly, it needed to know that this power would be used wisely. The last council stronghold had fallen 3 months ago after a siege that lasted 90 days. The surviving council members were now prisoners, waiting for trials that would determine their fate. The Grand Alliance had completely collapsed. Over 500 alien species had surrendered and requested membership in the new Commonwealth. "Emperor, the assembly is ready to begin," said Chancellor Kim Sora. She had accepted leadership of the new government's Department of Xenological Sciences. Her job was to help alien species adapt to life under human protection. Park nodded and walked toward the Great Assembly Hall. Inside, representatives from over 1,000 different species waited to hear humanity's plans for the galaxy. Some were grateful for liberation from Council oppression. Others were still afraid of what humans might do with their power. Admiral Chung Mi-young, commander of the Commonwealth Peacekeeping Fleet, stood at attention as Park entered. She had replaced Admiral Shin Yun-ji, who had retired after the war ended. Chung was younger but equally capable, a woman who understood that military force was sometimes necessary to maintain peace. "Emperor," Chung reported quietly, "our fleets are positioned throughout the galaxy. Any attempt at rebellion or aggression will be stopped immediately." The Commonwealth military was smaller than the wartime fleet had been, but it was still the most powerful force in known space. 50,000 human warships patrolled the galaxy, protecting trade routes and preventing conflicts between species. Most aliens now understood that challenging humanity was pointless. Park took his place at the center of the assembly hall. Around him, thousands of alien representatives waited in silence. The room held species that had been enemies for centuries, but now they sat together under human protection. "Members of the Terran Commonwealth," Park began, his voice carrying to every corner of the hall. 2 years ago, the Council betrayed humanity and murdered 50,000 of our people. Today, we gather to ensure that such cruelty never happens again." He paused, looking at faces from across the galaxy. Some were human, but most were alien. All of them were now equal citizens of the Commonwealth. "I know many of you feared what humanity would do after we gained power. You expected us to become conquerors like the Council. You thought we would rule through fear and oppression. You were wrong." Ambassador Zhang Wu-jin, Earth's chief diplomat, stood nearby with documents that would reshape galactic civilization. The Commonwealth Constitution guaranteed rights that most species had never imagined possible. Freedom of movement between worlds, protection from oppression, the right to govern themselves as long as they did not harm others. "The Commonwealth offers something the Council never did," Park continued. "True equality. Human worlds have no more rights than alien worlds. Human citizens are not more important than alien citizens. We all share the same galaxy. We must learn to share it in peace." A representative from the Altarian Republic raised one of his 4 arms. The Altarians had fought against humanity during the war but had surrendered after seeing the futility of resistance. "Emperor, many of our people still fear human intentions. You have the power to destroy our worlds. What guarantees do we have that you will not use this power?" Park had expected this question. "You have the same guarantee that any species can offer another, our word of honor. But more than that, you have our actions. Look around you. When we defeated the Council, we did not enslave their people. When we captured your fleets, we treated prisoners with dignity. When we occupied your worlds, we brought medicine and food, not chains and suffering." Dr. Lim Hyo-jung entered the hall with a group of scientists from across the galaxy. Her team now included aliens as well as humans, all working together to share knowledge and improve life for everyone. "The Commonwealth Science Council has made remarkable discoveries," she announced. "By combining human innovation with alien knowledge, we have developed new technologies that will benefit all species. Medical advances that can cure diseases that have plagued civilizations for millennia. Agricultural improvements that will end hunger on 1,000 worlds." This was humanity's true strength, Park realized. Not their weapons or their ships, but their ability to bring different groups together and make them stronger than they had been alone. The Council had ruled by keeping species separate and afraid of each other. Humans ruled by bringing them together. A representative from the former Vorthak Empire spoke up. The Vorthak were the aliens who had actually killed the human colonists at Kepler 442. Many humans had wanted them completely destroyed, but Park had insisted on mercy. "Emperor, My people committed terrible crimes against humanity. We expected no forgiveness, yet you offer us membership in the Commonwealth. Why? Park looked at the Vorthak representative for a long moment. Because hatred and revenge do not build a better galaxy. Your people were used by the Council, just as ours were betrayed by them. Under Commonwealth law, those who ordered the massacre will face justice. But the innocent will not suffer for the crimes of their leaders. Admiral Chung Mi-young stepped forward. The Commonwealth peacekeeping fleet has one primary mission: to prevent any species from oppressing another. We do not care if the oppressor is human or alien. We will protect the weak from the strong, no matter who they are. This was the most important principle of the new government. Even humans were not above Commonwealth law. If human commanders abused their power, they would face the same justice as alien criminals. Chancellor Kim So-ra activated a holographic display showing the current state of the galaxy. Green zones marked areas under Commonwealth protection. Yellow zones showed regions still recovering from the war. Red zones indicated areas where fighting continued between local species. The Commonwealth currently protects over 800 billion sentient beings, she reported. Trade between worlds has increased by 300% since the end of the war. Technological advancement is accelerating as species share knowledge freely. The statistics were impressive, but Park knew they only told part of the story. The real victory was harder to measure. Children who could grow up without fear of alien raiders. Scientists who could research cures for diseases instead of weapons of war. Traders who could travel between stars without worrying about pirates or oppressive governments. Captain Bae Wan-ho appeared on a communication screen from his patrol ship near the Galactic Rim. Emperor, we have contacted 3 new species in unexplored space. They have requested Commonwealth protection from raiders in their region. The Commonwealth was still growing. As news of human protection spread, more species asked to join. Some came seeking security from enemies. Others wanted access to human technology and trade networks. All were welcomed if they agreed to follow Commonwealth law. There is one more matter to discuss, Park announced to the Assembly. The question of what to do with former Council leaders and their allies. The hall fell silent. Everyone knew that captured Council members were waiting for judgment. Some aliens wanted them executed for their crimes. Others asked for mercy, hoping to prevent cycles of revenge. Ambassador Zhang Wujin stepped forward with the tribunal's decision. After careful consideration of evidence and testimony from thousands of witnesses, the Commonwealth Court has reached its verdicts. Those directly responsible for ordering the massacre at Kepler 442 will face life imprisonment. Others will serve shorter sentences based on their level of involvement. None will be executed. Park nodded approvingly. Justice, not revenge. That is the Commonwealth way. The Assembly erupted in discussion. Some representatives were unhappy with the merciful sentences, but most understood the wisdom of Park's approach. By refusing to execute their enemies, humanity showed that they were truly different from the Council. Dr. Kim So-ra announced the final item on the agenda. The Commonwealth Science Council is prepared to share all human military technology with member species. Advanced engines, weapon systems, defensive technologies, everything will be available to all Commonwealth members. This caused surprised murmurs throughout the hall. Most conquering species kept their best weapons secret. Humanity was doing the opposite. Why would you do this? Asked a representative from the Centauri Alliance. This technology gives humans military superiority. Park smiled. Military superiority based on secrecy is temporary. Eventually, other species would develop similar technology. By sharing freely, we create a galaxy where all Commonwealth members are equally strong. No single species can threaten the others. Admiral Chung added, Commonwealth doctrine states that our strength comes from unity, not from the weakness of others. When all members are strong, the Commonwealth itself becomes unbreakable. The Assembly session continued for hours, covering trade, agreements, territorial boundaries, and scientific cooperation.